Let's see. Good morning. Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Let me start up my little introduction. Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Thank you very much for watching. Okay, as I mentioned before, including that, editing that into my video, separately. Seems like occasionally I get a problem of some kind. I'm sure it's something I'm doing stupid. So I've been sometimes I've been omitting this little lead in, and but just something I'll work on. Today's date, it's June 5th of 2022, and it's almost 8 a.m. in the morning. As you know, I mentioned that a few times. I have two cell phones here. I hate cell phones. I hate telephones. Where's the other cell phone? Must be buried someplace. Here. Oh, here it is. This is my, let's bring up this here. This is my cell phone. This is the Google 4A, I believe. And it's small. The display is really, really good on it. But I really would like to have a larger display now that they're up over like 6 inches and stuff. This is my Motorola last year's model of the Motorola G stylus, and I like the idea of the stylus, but people are right that review things like this, and the stylus for this, and I think for some other, the few phones that do use the stylus, unlike the Apple cell phones, which one would that be? Anyway, or some of these cell phones. Very few cell phones are using now, the stylus. The software is very basic. It's not the software for using, for working with the stylus. It's not really developed, that this is sort of the basic. I like the idea. I don't like using my finger, and I do like if I have to do something is using the stylus. But I could easily get along. I mean, when I got this, I really wanted it. But now what I would like to have is a larger cell phone. But I I have two cell phones here. I don't like even using cell phones, and I also don't even really like using a tablet or a laptop. Um, I'm just I'm not sure how many, if I'm in a minority or a majority or whatever. I like using a desktop computer. I can have my junk around here, and it's just so much better. I mean, that's what I'm fitted for. Maybe it's because I'm old or something. I've got, two computers going here. I've got the Windows 11. And by the way, some of you have been sort of following me because every time there was an update to Windows 11, I would put information about it and, the link and stuff to where you could read about it and that type of stuff. Basically, the Windows 11 that we have is Windows 11. Now, of course, they were updating about once a week, or maybe about, there hasn't been a update here for I think a couple weeks or longer, and the experts are indicating that there isn't going to be. This is Windows 11. Now there will be, occasionally. I mean, they've got people working, and there's things they're working on. Occasionally, they will release at some point, a fix for something, or maybe even a new feature or something. But this is it. What we have now is Windows 11. There's a few changes coming, but so I'll still keep my eyes open for any updates and that type of stuff, and if it amounts to anything, I'll probably mention it and show it or something. But that's it. I think what I just need to do now is learn more about Windows 11 and the little hidden features and things that I don't know about that are useful and helpful. I saw let's see here. I saw CNET, and the way I found, I was, well, let me jump back to the cell phones. I don't even know which, I have two cell phones. I don't know why I have two. They're both, I'm paying for both of, for paying for both of them. The company, I was using Mint for one, and using, I forget what the other one is. In fact, I forget now which is, because I just switched back to Google Fi. I purchased, I think, there was a deal for buying a Motorola stylus, I believe. I think that was it. And getting a discount, or getting it cheaper. Well, that's a discount, isn't it? By buying it through Google Fi, and I did. And then, and I may be wrong on which cell phone this was. And then, yeah, I think I was wrong. I think I was, can't remember. A special for the stylus, Motorola stylus was the thing. I think I had purchased a cell phone, and then they came out with a deal for the stylus. And it seemed to me like that's wrong. Anyway, and what I did not pay any attention to when I purchased the whichever one it was discounted through, probably it was the anyway. So then I decided that I wanted, so I was signed up with a cell phone through Google Fi. And I was happy with the Google Fi service and everything. But there was, then I thought, no, I want, so I purchased, seemed like the deal was true. Anyway, I purchased, I think, the stylus Moto G. And last year's version. And so then I took off whichever cell phone I had with Google Fi, and I took the phone off, but I replaced it immediately with this other phone. And then I was notified at some point, after a month or something like that, that I was going to be charged $150 or something because I had not kept the whichever one I had registered in the beginning with Google Fi. That they had some type of a thing, you buy it through them, you get a discount. I think it might have been like $100 or something. And you get a discount, but I think it was like 90 days. And I didn't pay any attention, didn't know anything like that, and then I was notified, okay, well, the rules were, so you owe $100 or $150 or something. And I thought, well, to hell with this. I mean, I think that was when I thought, well, hey, I purchased, I think it might have been the Google, I think it was the Google 4A, and I registered that with, and Google Fi is Google, and I bought a Google phone, and I replaced the phone that was on there, and I guess the other phone was on there too. And so anyway, something I don't usually do, I just usually, I finally contacted them and I said, hey, I purchased, and I really didn't know that I had that there was I had to keep it for like 90 days or something, and I only kept it for like 2 months, and then I replaced it with a Google on Google Fi with, and I said, seemed to me, like, hey, Google, you're Google, and I bought a Google phone and added it to the Google, whatever, and they said, sorry, that's the part of that was the deal or whatever, so I paid them whatever it was, $100 or $150, and then I took both of my phones, and, I just quit with Google Fi, and I went someplace else. And the Mint, and what's the other one that's like in that price range? I can't remember. I think I'm still paying for these phones with them. And of course I didn't, I paid Google Fi and told myself I'm not going to do business with them anymore. And well, anyway, I just signed up for them. and I think it's for this phone here, because both these phones are using one phone number. And that wasn't in my intention. It was just the only way I could figure out how to do it. And so I just signed up. I let the thing expire for one of them is I'm going to have to check about it because it's on automatic renewal, charging every month. The other I was paying for whatever, and I paid for, I don't know, 90 days, or I can't remember what I did, and it, so, I, tried to switch. And so I'm paying for two phone numbers, two different lines, not with the same, and it looks like I'm still using, I have one number, both these phones were, if somebody calls, they both ring. If they're on, if both of them are turned on, they both ring. And that looks to me like it's a good thing, except it's costing me money unnecessarily because I don't get out that much. I don't use my phone that much. But that's the way it appears to be set up now because this kicked in, Happened pretty quick because whichever provider I was using, whichever is using the, do I want to say T-Mobile? But yet you're signed up through something. There's a bunch of these, I think it's T-Mobile. A whole bunch of small cell phone companies are actually using, I think it's T-Mobile service. Which is sort of, because the problem I had before, a little bit back, was when I canceled them, and then I wanted to transfer my number over. And so when I called to transfer the number over, I forget exactly how this went, but they said that they couldn't transfer it over or something because without the information. And when I called, let's say it was T-Mobile, when I called T-Mobile, no, I called I didn't call T-Mobile, T-Mobile's a big outfit. I called one of these other services, Mint or the other one, and there's a bunch though. And I said, I need the information so I can have the switch made, keeping my phone number. And they said, you don't have service with us. And I said, yes, I do. They said, no, you don't. And whoever was on the line, whoever was talking, they didn't know that their company used other cell phone companies' frequencies and bands and that type of stuff. And I thought, oh my God, And that's the way I ended up with two phones, both using my Google number. So life is not simple. It should be simple. But anyway, so I have right now, I think it's because I put a request in before I had to call, to change, it was to change my thing when they couldn't really, it was like, Then I said, okay, just give me a new number. But Google Fi looks like they figured it out, or it just happened by accident, that I have, 2 cell phones with the same phone number. And that's not a bad thing, but I'm just afraid, how is it, what's it going to, what's going to be the problem? Changing the subject. I am now down to 230 pounds. And my weight for a long time has been inching up, and it got up to like, I think, 250, something like that, in that range, I think. I might be wrong. Can't remember. Well, I could pull up my lap. I have a app on here that I put my stuff for my diabetes, my blood when I do draw it, which is, well, or not draw it, but test it, and some other information. What was I going to say? Oh, my weight. So it's been inching up for years, and it's gotten, when I was looking like it, getting up close to 300, I thought, oh my God. Actually, I didn't get that close. I think like it might have hit up 250, and I forget how high it got. But for a while here, I've been drinking, not drinking, trying to watch a little bit what I eat. But I think the main thing is I've been having, most mornings, can of Campbell's chicken noodle soup or something. I think it's Campbell's soup in the morning. And therefore, I haven't had a couple of sandwiches with bread, and a few things like that. So I'm now down to 230. And I never thought I would get back down to 230. So I'm going to try to stay there. Of course, I've got, medical problems going on. I'm old. And that's what you get. That's what you have to look forward to when you get old. I don't pay enough attention to Windows when it comes to hitting keys to do things and stuff like that. I just okay, now I don't see this. It was on the screen, and I guess because I didn't do something, it moved. Oh, come on here. Okay, come on. Well, maybe just refresh, see if it pulls, Okay, it's got to be, okay, here it is. They moved it or something, Come on, keep it simple. I see that CNET has this Control plus Shift plus T, and it says the keyboard shortcut that solves my most common browser mistake. Now, where did that tab go? The shortcut has your back. So, okay, I'm going to hit, Control, Shift, and T. Control, Shift, and T. Okay, that went to my Gmail because I guess I'd had that up before. Okay, hitting. Okay, that's something I should write down and remember because it would come in handy. And stuff like that. Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Okay, what else did I want to? Let me see what time it is. Okay, I've been talking for about 25 minutes. I haven't said a thing. I've been using my cooker that I talked about, and then I did also, I mentioned this the other day, I did get in the, whoops, this will show, the big brother of this, which is really nice, and I made, what did I make with it? It, you know, steams using the microwave, but using something like that, and I'm not going to, do a cooking, not going to have a cooking video or whatever, but I will pass along to you let me show you, by the way, let me go to Amazon. Yeah, let me go to Amazon. Go to orders, and here it is. And I showed this the other day on video. Now, these, I have two of these. They have this nice little handle, made in New Zealand, and everything is really nice with these. They're a little bit expensive, but still nice. And this, that's up on the screen here, it's nice. But of course, there's no handle on the, the side because of it fits in the microwave, But there's no handle on the side, I think, because of, it just wouldn't, really wouldn't work. So, when you snap, these things have on the top a pressure, they leak it. But they have the thing that you put on, but you have the vent open to make sure. But man, that steam when it comes out of there, I mean, it's you need to be careful when you're using it. Of course, they all warn you about the steam, and when you're venting it at the last. Anyway, here's the breakfast bowl. I'm going to order one of those. Okay, I have two of these. These are the one I just showed you. I have two of those. Now here's the soup mug, and I'm drinking, but I'm not going to get the soup mug. Here's the easy egg one. Now the rice cooker. I probably need to get that because I am big on rice. And my ex-wife here, she does all the ordering of the groceries. And she asked me, of course, what do I want? Tell her what I want, tell her what I want. But she, she is very frugal, which is good because we're all kicking in on this apartment. You know, we did have separate apartments next door. Well, first she was here for years, and then my grandson and I moved into the apartment above her. And then eventually we moved into an apartment that was next door. This is 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. And then eventually Hillary moved here, and her son, my grandson, they were in an apartment. And then Darlene and Jimmy decided we would share this apartment and share the expenses, and that because we were both paying for cable television, internet, all that kind of stuff, so that helped. But she takes care of the grocery thing or whatever. She's stubborn. She doesn't want to order some ingredients that I think that I need, you know, for the rice and that kind of stuff. She'll say, well, you wouldn't, you know, but she doesn't eat that stuff. And I actually do. So, but I am going to get a microwave one. Let me add that right now to, let's see, where the noodle, breakfast bowl, no, steamer, breakfast bowl. Oh, okay, here we are. Okay, steamer bowl for vegetables with steam release vent, dishwasher safe, red. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add that to the cart. I'll probably add something else to the cart, but I'll put it in the cart for now, so. Oh, I even get a non-stick rice spoon. There's that vent you better be sure to open or it's going to explode, you know. When I was a kid, my mother, strange to say that because I always called my mother and father, you know, Jim and Betty. Never said mother or father or whatever. I mean, it wasn't a protest or anything. That was just when I was a baby and growing up, they called each other, I guess, Jim and Betty, so I called them Jim and Betty. But I'll probably be making some rice today. Well, that's sort of the problem. There's no ground beef here. Because Darlene says that it goes bad too quick, or that I wouldn't use it up or something, you know, something like that. So I have to, oh, that's sausage, yeah, that's what it, so I have to scrounge around here to find, like there was some hamburgers here that are frozen and come in a package in the freezer. And then there's, Hillary picked up yesterday or something at Brahms a bag of burgers. I don't know how many, 10 or more. Comes in a bag, and a little too many for us to eat sometimes. And so I'll scavenge a couple of those, you know, throw away the bun and use the beef, if it is beef, you know, chop it up and put it into my rice. And that's what I need, though, to order. Sometimes she orders basically for herself. Sausage, you know. Summer sausage. And I've been taking some of that, cutting that up and replacing it, and not, not the large amount that they call for, but just a small amount, which what works in the rice, with mixed in with the rice and stuff like that. But so what I'm going to just do is from Amazon order some summer sausage. Let me do. I can't spell sausage. Yeah, I'll figure that out later. And then add that, because that's got that skin on it, and they don't even refrigerate at the stores. You just walk up and what else did I want to? Okay, wait a minute. Well, we're up to 35 minutes. Hillary's moved out of her place now. Here. It was nice having her here. Now she's outside of Fort Worth in a nice place that she, has a whole bunch of wild animals out there that are, which kind of scares me. She's not afraid of snakes. She thinks she can, talk to them, whatever. So. Anyway. So Hiller came over and she fixed this chair, a new chair. I got it for $95 or whatever from Amazon. I've had the same one, I think, before, maybe a couple times. And I guess because I'm so fat, it doesn't hold up very long. I know it's not that I'm fat, because they don't hold very long for anybody. It's really But anyway, she came over and she fixed it. I fixed it 3/4 of the way, and then the last part I messed up, so I just let her come over because my arthritis is so bad. I let her come over and she fixed it right away. I knew by that time what I'd done wrong. I'd put the seat wrong. The front of the seat was around that way, and that was the back of the inside. And then that made the back of the chair that has to square into the side. She came over and fixed that. But before she did that, I was just sitting on the metal chair that I have here, one of the fold-up ones. Oh man, that hurt my butt. And then she brought over a white chair, which not a standard, office type chair, a computer type chair. And then she brought over another one, which is a sort of an office type chair, but it was still kind of uncomfortable and whatever. So I purchased this, and now I got 3 chairs in here. Nobody ever comes in here and sits down. Nobody ever comes in here. I mean, my son does. That's it. Well, Hillary, if she comes over for some reason, she may walk in here, but she doesn't sit down. So now I have in this. And when I thought that I was going to get a nice desk, because she moved, a nice L-shaped desk, I rearranged this cell that I'm in. And so I rearranged it, and it looked so much better. You could get through, even my son, wow, because he could, we could walk in and not have to turn sideways to get, and whatever, and it looked much better. And then when the moving company showed up for Hillary, I rearranged everything. And then Hillary came over with the 2 moving men, and he had his tape measure, and he said, well, okay, well, because I ranged a place for it, And he said, well, it's going to, and I knew it was going to have to, it was L-shaped. I knew it would not be fit in, but it could be, and I thought, well, it can come out, the L can come out here, or the L can come out over there, or whatever. And he came over and he shaking his head, you know, and I said, well, you're the expert. Do you think it's going to fit in here okay? And he said, no, I don't think so. So I told Hillary, okay, never mind. So I did, but that's good. I did that rearranging, and I'm still working on organizing the place and doing things a little bit different to make it better for me. And anyway, I have these Windows 11. I have the Chrome box, and they've added a bunch of, they've updated it, they really have updated it, and everything, and a bunch of improvements. Android 12 or something is coming to Chrome. So I have those two things going on, and I have two cameras with this Windows 11, and I have one camera with the Chrome. So anyway, I'm making some changes. So today I'll also be making some changes. Now the problem is those two extra chairs are kind of a problem, you know. Sort of all the work I did making room and stuff, now I've so let's see what's going on. Oh, okay, I don't think it's here. No, I am also going through old pictures, and I mean old pictures, family pictures, and other things. I had here, oh, here it is. Whoops. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. This is my parents' wedding book. You know, like people have baby books. So what I want to do is create a playlist and put a whole bunch of these old pictures and things like this. Put the video in. This is a letter, by the way. I think I would have been about 9 years old. This is a letter, by the way, that my father wrote to my mother, and that Jim wrote to Betty. Anyway, the wedding book has, you know, the shower, who was present, all that kind of stuff. And there's, you know, there's information like when my father was growing up, you know, the Catholic families, I guess every family had large families. And my father went to, you know, St. Vincent's grade school, and I later went to went there. He also went with the Huber family, and his, you know, they had a large family. My father's family was large, 7 boys and 3 daughters, you know. And the boy that was my, you know, of course they all hung out together, played together, but was, let's see, Oscar Huber, and I can't remember. I should be able to remember. And both my father and him decided to go be priests, and they went away to the seminary, and then my father didn't want any part of the seminary, and he wanted, he came back home. Oscar, his friend, went on to become a Vincentian priest, and he's the one who was in Dallas, Texas, when John F. Kennedy was assassinated, and he was a priest that was at the hospital and gave John Kennedy the last rites, and then came out, and the world was watching what was going on and wondering what was going on and wondering how President Kennedy was doing. And he came out, and the news media interviewed him, and he said, that he just gave the last rites to President Kennedy, and that President Kennedy was dead, and then the news went out to the world. Anyway, there's, like in this book here, the book from my parents' wedding, it, shows that he showed up at my parents' wedding. His family showed up at the, there's things in here where they showed up and that type of stuff. Also, I got a couple pictures of my father, Jim, with Oscar Huber when they were boys, when they were in the Boy Scouts, standing together and that type of stuff. So what I want to do is create a playlist on here. If you think of an idea, I'm thinking of, for a title, Once Upon a Time. But maybe it should be like Once Upon a Time, what? Maybe the date, such and such to such and such. And I guess it could be, like the one video could be where I showed this information in here and talked about, something. Could be Once Upon a Time, the date, which would be, or it could be Once Upon a Time. Maybe Once Upon a Time's not good. If you can think of something. I'm looking for the date. The date of their engagement was December 25th of 1939. I was born in March of 1941. So then, of course, there's First Holy Communion, my birth, all types of, things that I could make a video of and scan pictures that are really, really, old. So that's my idea. I'm not sure that very many people would be interested in it, but at least it would be available. I mean, it would be there, and you could look back, see how people dressed, and, all the men wearing hats, and stuff like that. So I don't know if that'd be interested in, I'm anyway, that's my idea. I've got a printer which acts up on me, and then I've got let's see, I think that's a printer too, and a scanner. No, I think it's just a scanner, I believe. Yeah. Because I thought that would be easier than, so that's my idea. I'm sorry, this has been a total disaster of a video, so I better end it here. I thank you for your patience. Thank you very much for watching.